Hi, welcome to another game of Tiberian Sun, brought to you by Tiberian Sun Adventures, and I'll be casting today insectsx, and we're ready to go. Let's go. And we got Phatmouse playing Zene. Phatmouse, my old clanmate, as it happens, my old clanmate. Quick look there at my videos for poker. And they're playing GDI. Who have we got where? Zene top right, Phatmouse bottom left. Generally I prefer playing bottom left. I love the blue. I like to take advantage of that early. It's the only spot where you get the extra money. We'll see how that impacts the game, how that impacts the tactics. Usually have a different build order. You can get away. You can kind of do like a 5-ref man rush from different spots. You can get away with a 4-ref man rush from bottom left, maybe even a 3-ref man rush if you really micro your harvest as well. And we got a hell of a lot of men coming out from both sides, and they're just scouting out. Scouting nice little scout lines here. Get a good view by sending them in different directions, and just a stream of men coming out up here from Zene. And he sends them different directions. 4 down here, interesting. 4 up here, so he's batching the 4s. I'm not sure if there'll be anti-scouts or scouts, and Phatmouse has put 3 down here, so I like this idea. He's gonna try and sneak 3 in, but Zene has got some early warnings. You know, he's got 3 men here and 1 man here, so he might catch that early. Bottom left, obviously the disadvantage of easy to be scouted, and he's going to see some grenadiers here, so he's going to know there's a. When you see some grenadiers, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a man rush of some sort. And he's still pumping out, man. We've got a second ref coming out. Oh wow! And these 3 guys have found a perfect line. It's going to get fully scouted, I think. Here, it's going to get fully scouted, and this is going to give Phatmouse the advantage. And he is a bit behind though. He just saw that third ref come out, and Zene's third ref came out a bit later. But actually, he sold 2 of his ref and used those men to clean up those 3 scouts. That was a nice play. And he hasn't been scouted, so there goes that advantage. And now we've got the first wave of men coming out, and there's a gold man just having a little look. There's another gold man here and another gold man here, so it's actually light blue is going to get fully scouted, and I don't think he's got enough men here to win the battle. Zene's got more men, but the war factory is out, so and he's powered up that power turbine. Gonna see if what he builds. Okay, he's gone for a tight end. He's got his harvesters on the blue. I like this. Is what I'm talking about. Get them straight, micro them onto the blue. And he's sending one man to his doom, but he's going to pick up a few here. He's going to do some damage at least. Here comes the war factory from Zene, who's a little bit behind on development. We've got 3 titans, and the radar has the radar been sold? I think the radar has been sold. There's 4 men here. And the helipad. Only got 3 harvesters though, 4 times 3 harvesters, and there's 4 harvesters for gold. So a little advantage there. I like the idea of splitting up your minigunners and your grenadiers. Just that lower risk of them all blowing up, and you can do a little bit of micro. But he didn't really have enough disc throwers there to kind of get much done. But he's going straight for the titans. The only thing is, Gold's got quite a lot of men left here. So these titans they are gonna take a little bit extra punishment from these men. They do a little bit of damage, and it's just gonna push it in Zene's favour. They're both playing only 2 refineries. Here comes the disruptor. So Phatmouse really cannon on a multi attitude, a multi-avenue attack. And we'd love to put a disruptor right here on this corner, attack this back one, blow the first one up in 1 shot, queue it to the right, and the other 4 titans hit this front refinery. Unfortunately, with top right, your refineries are at the front. They're kind of vulnerable to titan rushes, so it does make sense to do titan rushes from bottom left because they're kind of key buildings. Then he's got this radar. He's got his radar up, but he's just flying around with his disruptor, and for sure we're going to see a Sam come out. He's got 6 titans. This attack, he really has to coordinate it well. Yep, I love the position of this disruptor. He's going to want to pick that back up quick, and try and get another 1-shot this refinery. He might even be able to get a 3rd refinery. That'd be sick. Oh wow, and he's sold that one And I don't think he should have sold that one, but he's in a world of trouble now. His finances are down. We've got an MK coming out from Phatmouse. Well executed attack there. Zene had the defenses, but wasn't able to kind of manage it properly. Maybe it would have been a great time to have a engineer, you know, because there's nothing to kill the engineers. He had decent money, well enough. He's got like 9 titans. He could have had 1 less titan and 2 engineers. Would have probably been a lot better value to at least save one of those refineries. For sure you want to save at least one of those refineries. MK's coming in. It's not really going to be able to finish it off, but it will be able to cause a little bit of trouble. There's too many titans here to deal with. I don't think he's actually going to be able to achieve much at the moment with this MK. I think he should more look to build up his economy, refortify his base. His MCV is actually pretty low. He needs to be careful of that because you can get one shot with Disruptor. But Zene's got a bit of a task in his hand now to come back. Just going to be struggling on economy wise, and this bomber, I'd put it on the SAM because it's going to be a long time before he gets another SAM. So I'm expecting he's going to go for that, and then you can wreak a bit more havoc with your MK. Probably ship in the back, kill this power plant. That'd just be a real nuisance. I like this double pad combo that he's got. Just can reload his just a bit more safety for his own heady pad, but also means he can nice micro there to pick it up just on the last hit. And without the SAM, you know, it's a lot of grief having to micro, dealing with this MK as well as trying to build up your base. But it's going to back off now, I think, until he gets his base a bit more established, until he's got some more stuff that he can attack with. Expanding with heady pads, I like that idea. Can probably pop out another 1 or 2 refs at the moment. And Zene's kind of limited to just building titans and just building defense, which is a kind of a sucky thing about being top right. Often that is the case. And now he's sending his titans, but there's quite a few bombers coming out from Phatmouse down here, which bombers are very effective against titans because their titans got to travel the whole map. And you know, you can recycle your bombers, you can reuse them. He's also got an MK, so probably not going to have too much problem yet, but he's just bombing some of the titans there. They are nicely spread, but there goes the grenadiers. But they're all going to be, you know, around half health, or some of them dropped or whatever by the time they actually get to the bottom. And the MK can just go around to the back and pick off a few as well. And you know, it's going to buy Phatmouse some more time. So he's looking strong here, but Zene really needs to get a couple of disruptors out with this attack to make it effective. And Phatmouse is he's got a lot of bombers. He's bringing out some titans as well. I think he definitely needs to repair his MCV, or he's just going to get it disrupted, land here, and just pop it off in one shot, which would be a nuisance. Pretty chances on both sides here. Interesting match. MK's taking damage. Oh no, and he's not quite going to save it. That was a big kill. I'm not sure about that positioning. I'd rather have put the MK behind the titans to turn them around, buy a bit more time, but should be bombing them, get these bombers out and clean up a few of these titans and just lesser the impact. Yeah, that's nice. And you have to move these bombers back quick. Don't lose that bomber. Ooh. You can let the helipad go, but don't let the bombers go. And get those titans shooting. And we're seeing another wave coming out from top right. So I like this turn. I like this aggressive turn coming out from Zene here. And he's microing his titans as well, just to run him away. Just delaying Phatmouse a bit and putting him on a bit more of the defensive. And let's see how these disruptors, 2 disruptors, that's going to be a nuisance. And you can see he's messing up these titans. He still hasn't repaired his MCV, he needs to get repaired that MCV. Also, might as well repair this titan while you're here. And I think he needs to get a SAM over here, definitely a SAM over here next to his expansion. The worry would be is if these titans come in from the front, and 2 disruptors come down from the bottom and just pick off your 2 back refineries, which are very vulnerable at the bottom there. But he does have an expansion refinery. He needs to build up defenses. Definitely needs to get his defenses. The only thing at Zene is he's gone all out on this attack. He's all in this attack and at the expense of his expansion. So we'll see what he can get done. And there we go. There's those 2 disruptors. I missed the action, but that's exactly where I would have put the 2 disruptors, and he's cleaned up these back refineries. Fortunately, he's got another refinery here, but might lose it because he doesn't really have enough Titans. He has the Titans, but they're not over there. They're on their way over, and I think these 5 times are going to be able to clear out this refinery. He's going to have to sell it, and he's got another disruptor to worry around with the back. So here comes another refinery, but this disruptor can go and pick it up. I think he might, but he's not on top of it because he's watching his Titans. But I'd have those Titans straight on the refinery and get this disruptor helping the refinery as well. Just attack this economy, and he's had to sell that. So Phatmouse in a bit of trouble here, and there's an MK that's popped out, and he's just going to sell his war factory, which isn't too bad because he probably needs the money anyway. But he needs to get these bombers going, he needs to get these men just to clean up these Titans. Nice Titan rush. Nice usage of the nice offense there. Sending his harvesters to blue, that's very wise, and he's starting to do his own expansion. And he has got a lot of harvesters, so even though he's not at his expansion, he's got a lot of harvesters, so he's still got money coming in. And now Blue's got a big problem. He's got a lot of, he's got this MK to worry about. Boom! Just slaps off that helipad in one shot, and got a very defensive refinery here. Very defensive refinery here by Phatmouse, and this MK is just going to zap things up. Just going to go fumans, wants to sell that. Let's get that sold. Doesn't quite get it sold. And this MK is causing hassle. So Zene looking really strong now. Does have a spare carrier up here. He could bring that home, Phatmouse, but he's just desperately trying to get his economy going. In the meantime, he's losing some harvesters. He does have a harvester in his base. Get that behind the war factory. On the helipad war factory. I don't think Zene has spotted it. You will hear that his base is under attack, but he's just focusing on this MK at the moment. And kill the carrier. Oh, he's trying to. He's hitting the MK. Is he going to hit the carrier? No, but this MK is a bit too weak now. I think he's going to have to head back. So pretty close game coming out here. Exciting game. And he did get that blow on the war factory. It's going to save him a lot. It's going to buy him a lot of time. So a close game. And he's got a couple of bombers, and he's got his refinery. He's got money coming in. He's got nothing to spend money on. So it's probably building up a bit of money because there is a lot of harvesters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 harvesters. He's still got a decent patch with some blue. Zene's expanding. He's gone back to Zene to repair his MK. Got his war factory back out. Same with Phatmouse, but they both need to tech. So a really close game. I think at the moment I probably still favour Zene with this MK, this full power MK and the carrier. We can just mess around a bit, but we have and his base is just a little bit close to Tiberian. He's got a lot of refineries, a lot of harvesters. They're bringing in blue, so he's making decent money from that. Blue's got Phatmouse's base is very cramped here, and he's not harvesting the blue. I'd definitely be harvesting the blue. He needs the money right now, but he's building his base back up. He's got a disruptor out, so he's looking for some offense. There's an APC there. I don't know what's in the APC. We didn't see. Might have been engineer, not sure, but the MK's coming out. See how well he combines this attack of the APC with the MK, but the disruptor's coming out as well from Phatmouse. So it's where's he gonna go? This ref looks tasty at the front. He's got a good scout. He's dropped it. Pick it back up. Get it going. Nearly. He could drop it in between these two refineries and one shot one, queue it, one shot the other if he's if he was on board micro. But he's definitely not looking on board micros. He's just left his disruptor behind there, and the MK is just gonna eat it up. So that's a big shame. Because that disruptor he put a lot of resources into getting that disruptor out when his base was in a bit of a dire state, and he didn't make it very effective. And now he's got to worry about this MK, the expansion on his harvesters, and his harvesters are running out of money, and they haven't harvested blue yet. That's good, but gold's also seemingly forgotten about his MK, and he's lost the carrier. So we did lose the base from Phatmouse, but the MK's lost its carrier, so he's gonna have to ship down another carrier pretty quick. We've got another Titan Rusher. Pretty action-packed game. How many Titans have we got going down here? 3, 6, and another one 7. There's a carrier. Get that carrier down there quick. Also, I think he needs to. Zene should really, in my opinion, pick up another helipad or two just to secure his helipad. Although I guess he doesn't really need bombers, and he's got a service, so it doesn't matter too much. But generally, I like to have more than one helipad because they're very vulnerable. They die easy. And here comes the Titan. He's got the bombers. MK's getting pit backed up. It's going to be very difficult to defend. He's got another MCB out, but might be a little bit too little too late. He's got how many? 6 Titans to deal with this, which isn't enough really, because there's 7 Titans coming from the front and an MK coming from the back. He's picked off that carrier with some nice micro. Gonna even need more Titans or some Sams, but he's dropped the MK there a little bit early in my opinion, as the Titans not come in yet. And the MK, yeah, he dropped that MK a bit too early. He should have timed it maybe a bit better with his Titan rush, and then his MK could have come back, could have done all sorts of damage to this refinery and helipads, while the Titans caused grief at the front. So, you know, the speed of this game, I can't blame him. The game's so much faster, or at least it feels a lot faster than when I used to play. So, you know, microing is very hard, but he's fended off that attack very well, and it looks like Zene has gone for a refinery, mass refineries. It's got refineries everywhere. Generally, you want to kind of build silos or power plants, especially if you're on the offense. You don't have to worry about defending your base too much. You can just silo all the way down to a patch and get your refineries as close as you can to the Tiberian. It's going to be the most resourceful way to do it. He's sending another Titan rush, but the thing about these Titan rushes is that we've got 2 helipads and 2 bombers, and they're just, I don't know where this Titan's going. He's decided, you know, he's got better things to do. He's got his own life. But the thing is, with these Titans running halfway across the map, here we go, these bombers. Economically wise, you know, it's much better for the bomber. He just goes back and reload, doesn't cost anything, and that guy and Zene's just lost 2 Titans. And here comes out another refinery. So he's expanding with refineries. Usually you expand with your silos and stuff. And we see another MK come out. Really needs to time this attack a little bit better. All these Titans just ate up a lot of bombs. And there's a Sam there next to the radar, not behind the radar. I prefer it behind the radar, so it's a little bit hidden. But I think he's gonna do some damage to the bomber, so that's gonna delay him. We've got a lot of Titans coming out. We've got another bomber here. He definitely wants to get that bomber working. And there's a bit of an economy problem, I think, going on for Phatmouse at the moment. And a lot of his Titans weak. He does lose a bomber there, but this time he's doing the attack. He's doing the MK with the Titans. It's going to be pretty close because there's a lot of light blue Titans here, and the MK's not really in a great position. And oh wow! And I think Phatmouse is going to hold here, and there's too many Sams for that carrier to be able to be effective, and that carrier goes down as well. So held off the last 2. He's parried off those last 2 attacks really well. This is a great game. And he's expanding to the middle. He's expanding with power plants. I think it's a lot better idea than expanding with refineries. But I mean, Zene does have a hell of a lot of harvesters. I mean, it's just harvest. Look at his base. It's just harvesters everywhere. It's like an ant colony. And unfortunately, Phatmouse hasn't split up his Titans very well. He sent all these Titans off, and they've just been eaten up by the bombers. So generally, you don't really want to do Titan rushes once there's too many bombers on the map, because the bombers are just, you know, they just take out all the life of the Titans before they get there. And I think also, you know, looking at Zene's base, it's so vulnerable. You could just disrupt to here, pick it up, disrupt to here, pick it up, disrupt to here. You could just eat up like 4 or 5 refineries really quick. He still has a couple of Titans. Doesn't quite give it live. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get this disruptor in. Loving that angle. Pick it up quick before the bombers get there. Pick it up quick. That's it. Get down for another one shot. You can go through. Yeah, okay, the positioning. Well, unfortunately, he turned his bombers around. Maybe his bombers are probably empty. He could just keep going through these refineries. And oh boy, Zene's base is extremely vulnerable. Just a 1 disruptor here doing a world of damage. Didn't leave any time to plan. You could even just take this disruptor home and repair it. We see another MK come out there from Zene. He's got a lot of bombers. He has got a few pads. Needs to make sure these bombers are reloading. I can't actually see if they're reloading or not. Probably wants to repair them up as well, and then go and attack some of the Sams. This expansion is looking pretty strong from Phatmouse. He's really he defended those 2 attacks really well, and he's put himself in a pretty strong position. He has got an MK to deal with now though. Where's this MK going to go? It'd be probably a pretty good opportunity to Harvey hunt, as there's nothing that can really get to defend those harvesters quick. And it's good that he's kind of sent these harvesters different places. He's caught that harvester quick as well, so it's going to buy him a little bit extra time. He might even just about save one. I think he's going to get picked off, but it's bought him some extra time where he can... Oh, and this is lovely micro by Phatmouse. I'm enjoying watching this. There's a lot of bombers coming out though from these mass harvesters. could be going for a knockout blow. I'm not sure if Phatmouse is aware of these mass bombers. He does have a lot of SAMs. But he's going to need to get it. Oh, well, there's the second war factory, so that's going to help out a lot. So it'd be interesting to see now how these bombers are intended to be used. And he did recycle that disruptor, but he actually accidentally attacked a man. But nothing's given this disruptor any grief, and there was a lot of money in that refinery, and there was a lot of money in that refinery, which is not really that surprising, seeing as, oh my god, he might lose. No, he's going to lose another refinery here, and it's going to put him way back. He does just pop out one in the expansion, but it's knowing this disruptor's dead, it's just queuing it through the base and liking the way it's microing. In terms of effectiveness, the amount of damage he got done with that disruptor is really good. He's just got to worry a little bit now about his harvesters getting picked off by his MK. I think he needs to make his own MK really, or super secure this center. You know, get some SAMs around it, get some more buildings, and just be like, you can't come close to this because I got it nailed down. But at the moment, he's still sending some harvesters down to the bottom right. Zene, is he going for another Titan rush? We're not sure, or is he just going to try and take an expansion? Because, well, the bombers were used on the MTV, and now they've been used on the SAMs. He does see he's got, oh no, they've been used. The MTV was already dead, so I'm not sure what he used the bombers on there. He used them on the helipads. He took out all the helipads, and now he's sending his Titans. So I like the way he's thinking there. You know, I was just talking about earlier about the Titan rushes don't do too good when there's a lot of bombers on the map, because they can just bomb and then go back, and then bomb and then go back. But Zene's got a lot of Titans here, and he's still got a few left in his base. We need to see a carrier come down for this MK. It's such a valuable unit, and they're not doing anything at the moment. But okay, he's going to take it all, split these Titans up quick, Oh, it's a lot of damage. It's nice use. I like the tactics coming out here. He's got a solid idea of the way he wants to do his tactics of bombing the helipads, bombing the Titans, ship the Titans in. I think he should. Phatmouse for money could just sell a couple of these back refineries. They serve no purpose now. In fact, they might even be bad purpose. He's sending these harvesters too far away. And let's see where these Titans are going. They're just kind of Harvey hunting. They're blowing up all that blue Tiberian being blown up. MK waiting for orders. The Titans here have come back to defend the main, so his base up is very vulnerable. This is the time. This is the time for the MK to shine. Ship the MK up here. Take out this war factory. Take out this refinery. But instead he's coming around the bottom. He could still do the same. The base is vulnerable here. And Phatmouse is really struggling from not having his own MK. I think this is just giving Zene a bit more flexibility in terms of the way he manoeuvres his attacks. And he's run out of Tiberian's expansion, he's run out of his Tiberian's second expansion. His harvesters are going halfway across the map. They're going to have to go down to this bottom right patch soon. They're actually farming the middle, and I don't think Phatmouse should have allowed that. He should have secured the middle. This MK is going to go down. Is the bomber going to finish it off? No, but the carrier, wow, and he just about gets out there. Minimum health in the MK, minimum health on the carrier, so fantastic save. All the Titans chasing down these Titans now. I guess they're just kind of securing this Tiberian patch. And I think he should be, definitely shouldn't be letting Zene farm the Tiberian just outside his base here, especially as he's got so many bombers, especially as he's got builders right next to it. He should just be smashing those harvesters up, not even getting away with it. But he's obviously got a lot on his plate. There's a lot going on. But he needs that Tiberian for himself. And the less harvesters your opponent has, the better. So probably thinking about whether he should get some more helipads back out. He's made a good stake on this middle. He's got an RPG there. So now he's taking down these harvesters. And he's taking a good claim on middle. There's no Emps. There's a lot of Titans, but there's no Emps. There's quite a lot of bombers. And the question is gold. Zene, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Oh, but Titan's gonna eat a lot of bombs here. They're lined up perfectly. These bombers are loving it. There was just bombs all over that. Phatmouse has decided to kind of focus on the harvesters as well, but the problem with that is he's gonna have not a lot of Titans to deal with the post-conflict Titan Rush that Zene's going to put on Phatmouse here. So I think he needs to see if he can just see how much damage he can do. Get this bomber working as well on these Titans. He's still running away. If he can save these Titans, it actually probably wouldn't be too bad because he could repair them all. But there's just smoking Titans everywhere. And oh, now the MK comes to the expansion. So he's timing this perfectly, but he's not actually using his MK, and this RPG could kill the carry all if it was if they were all microing. But I think they're focusing on the Titan. There's Titans down here. There's MK up here. Phatmouse under a lot of pressure, but we've seen before that he defends very well. So we'll see how resourceful he is here. I certainly sell these back to refineries are completely useless right now. You know, I'm sure he could do with the money. Maybe even sell this refinery. These Titans are looking, they're eyeing up the main, the MCV, and the war factory, and they could just start shooting now, start taking these SAMs, start taking this refinery. Oh no, but they're just oh wow, what a line those bombers just take. I guess he's focusing on his MK, or he's focusing on his base, or he's focusing on his bombs or something, but those Titans just took a lot of bombs. They're still going though, and 4 Titans, they can quickly clean up quite a few buildings, so needs to deal with those quick. He's got an MK up here as well, causing damage on this refinery. Get these bombers working, get these bombers, finish off these Titans first. There's only 3, just clean them up and then you can focus on the MK. And they're almost down, just 2 left there. He's got another bomb down here, he's got 3 Titans up here not being used. They would certainly be, desperately could be used at his expansion right now. There's a lot more Titans coming from Zene, so Zene's got the MPAL. And the bases are pretty close now, just 1 screen apart, so he could definitely pop out a little EMP here and just claim this expansion. But the middle expansion isn't really that useful anymore because there's no Tiberian there, and even this harvester doesn't want it. He's given up. This harvester's given up on life. He needs to get this harvester up here to the blue. 4 bombers up here. Be lovely to just sneak out your own bomber and see if you could just bomb those real quick. Really close game this, really close game, but I think this last Titan rush might just be, oh boy, I mean he built another refinery but there's no ore there, so it's not really that useful having another refinery there and 3 refineries. You have to see how he deals with these Titans. He's got a great line, the bombing on this game has been fantastic. It's just got like such beautiful lines, and Phatmouse should be able to hold these Titans now. I think he's got enough Titans. He's got enough Titan there. He just needs to make sure they're shooting. They're not actually shooting right now. Get these Titans shooting. Save this helipad. This bomber's coming for the helipad. We've got the MKs getting repaired. No, they've given up on disruptors. Disruptors would just do so much damage right now on these bases. Look how vulnerable these bases are. You can just put a disruptor at the back here, somewhere around here, and just at least force out the EMP. Or causing trouble. If he had 2 disruptors, he'd put 1 down here and 1 down here, coming 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom. But obviously they're struggling for resources, and they're focusing more on Titans. Oh, I do hear a disruptor, but I can't see it. Where is she? Not sure. Some bombers coming out from gold though. Oh, don't let him bomb your bombers. Oh, he really wanted to bomb those bombers, but he took like a kind of drifted. Took a drift. I guess they're both out of money right now. The MK's back, ready to go. Phatmouse could do with his own MK. Generally, the best way to deal with an MK is to have your own MK, as GDI at least. So more Titans coming in now. It's a bit weird that they're kind of battling for middle, because there is nothing left in middle. Usually you want to get to middle first and claim it, because then you get all the money in middle. But there's no money. There's actually no money left in middle, so it's not that beneficial to even claim middle. I guess you're just trying to walk through the enemy space. What a line these bombers took. Wow. Can we get 1 more bomb off, and that might just finish all the Titans. Yeah, so the bombers are really the man of the match, doing all the work in these games. This bomber though, he's decided to rest, but there's an MK here, and he hasn't got. Phatmouse doesn't have any resources to deal with it, and there's a bunch more bombers from Zene, and there's more Titans coming out, more refineries. But again, these refineries, I'm not sure about the kind of mass refinery producing when it's next to no ore. I think I'd rather, I'd even just silo my way down here and get some refineries down here. You want your harvesters next to the money, really. But they've got a lot going on, so to try and deal with that, he's going to have to sell this refinery. This MK's got full health, so it's causing a lot of trouble. It's just picking off Titans. You can pick off this Harvester. Ooh, he's kind of walking into a bit of danger there, but he does take down 2 Titans there. But the carrier was light. Is the carrier going to go down? No, he somehow survived. A little bit of dodging and ducking there. I'm not sure if it helped, but another refinery here. But this, you know, again, there's no money left at middle, so I don't really see the purpose of massing these refineries. This kind of mass. Zene likes to grow with refineries, but ideally you want the refineries next to the money. And you know, these are the patches I think I'd be eyeing up if I was Zene. This is the main patch, and I guess there's only top left after that. So resources running out on the map. And there's a lot of, and I can see why, because there's harvesters everywhere. But the Zene's sending in more Titans trying to deal with this. Phatmouse has been dealing with the attacks well, but he's just getting out. It's just got too much to handle. It's too much to deal with. I mean, you could even just sell 3 or 4 or 5 of these refineries and just get some big units out to do some real damage, like 2 disruptors now, and just finish the game for Zene. But he's just about got enough Titans. And there's no more defense. He's going to have to sell this war factory. Oh, and there's some bombers there waiting. He's got 3 of his own bombers. He's going to desperately have to send those out to try and hold. And this last time is not being microed. These harvesters are just walking to their death. And oh, he's bombed the helipads. That's very that was a very effective bombing mission. Oh, and he said the game froze. That kind of sucks. But that's going to give him quite a big advantage. He has sent his bombers back through the SAMs though, so good game those bombers. But he's got another, and he's just realised he's got another MK coming. And oh no, Phatmouse has been disconnected. Oh, well, he's only got 5 more seconds, but I think we could probably call that Zene was gonna take it anyway. There was no Phatmouse. He defended well, but there was nothing. He had nothing left really, and he just lost his bombers, which was the main hold against those Titans. What an exciting match! Oh, what a great match to watch. Hope you enjoyed it as much as me, and thanks for watching.